Yo guys, what's going on? And welcome to my Pittsburgh Steelers initial schedule breakdown. I will be predicting every game and I will see how I can do many months in advance. We have a couple primetime games, especially this week 1 Monday Night Football at Giants. Andrew Thomas, the young talent that they just added. It's going to be a fun game, but we're going to see how we do. Um, Compared to what I am gonna predict right here today. And we'll see how it changes. And I will try to make videos about other teams in our division. Um, like Cleveland. I know everyone's high on Cleveland, and I will also right before the season starts, like after we acquire more talent, see how the preseason goes with Chase Claypool, Alex Highsmith, Kevin Dotson. Um, you got Anthony McFarland. Does he take carries away from James Conner? Does he become the lead back in our offense? That's things we need to see in the preseason, like what they do in week 3. Oh, and we also did get the Hall of Fame game against Dallas at home. That's always fun. I like the Hall of Fame game because you're just so you haven't seen football in so long. Just to have that Hall of Fame game, just to have your team be the first game and that you've seen in forever, that's always fun. We played Dallas in the Hall of Fame game and in the regular season. So week one here, and before week 3 of the preseason, I'm gonna make another schedule breakdown definitely after that game. After we see how they're gonna run their offense in the regular season, what is Ben okay? Is Ben ready to go for this season? Is Chase Claypool going to have a huge effect? Is Anthony McFarland going to have a huge effect? Is our defensive I know we got that safety from Maryland in the 6th round. He's very talented. And then obviously McFarland is also from Maryland, so we got a couple players from that program. But how we run our offense and who the lead back is in that week 3 game of the preseason, that's going to be mainly what I base my next schedule prediction for the Steelers off of. But here we have week 1 at Giants, Monday Night Football. And I think that's a little bit earlier. Usually these start at 8:20, but I guess they're usually week 1 they have 2 Monday Night Football games, and I think this is the first one, but I'm glad cuz I hate these games that start at 8:20. You just get so tired, in the second half. But week 1, we're all going to be so hyped. 7:15, definitely going to watch all these games. But week 1, I think we get the win here. Usually the Steelers have a tendency to play down to their competition, which I will be mentioning for some of these games that I will predict losses because I'm not going to predict biased. I'm going to predict based on what I think will happen, and I think we will win this game, but I do not think we win some of these other games where we will be favored. You know, week 1 we'll be well prepared for that game, and we will win at Giants, and we will start out the season 1-0. Week 2 versus the Denver Broncos. I think we will win this game too, but I think it will be closer than most people expect. The Broncos got a lot of talent too. They got KJ Hamler and then Jerry Jeudy. They have a lot of talent, young wide receivers. Cortland Sutton's still there, and obviously you have the running backs too, along with Drew Lock, but I do not think Drew Lock will be ready. I think later in the season, Drew Lock will be. If we played them later in the season, I'd probably give the Broncos the win. But I don't think Drew Lock will develop quick enough to be ready for this week 2 game. TJ Watt, Bud Dupree, lock it in. We're going to win week 2. Week 3, I think we lose this game at home against the Texans. While I do like that we play at Heinz Field here, I just think the quarterback play for the Texans is gonna be so crucial here. Deshaun Watson, And I think that Brandon Cooks is gonna have a huge role, just like Hopkins did. And I'm not saying he's gonna replicate what Hopkins did, but I think it's gonna be about 80% of what he did. Cook's gonna have a huge role. Obviously they're pretty talented on defense too. J.J. Watt, the battle of the Watt brothers. Um, the more I think about it, the more I want to give us a win there, but I'm still gonna stick with the loss. But it'll be by less than a field goal, 3 points or less. Week 4 at Titans. I think that we will lose this game too. I think that our defense just won't be able to stop Derrick Henry. And at the end of the day, when you can't do that, you're just going to lose football games. Their defense is going to be able to shut Ben down, I think. This is going to be a gross game. We're going to lose by multiple scores. And it's away, too. And we usually play way better at home. So away, and I just really like Henry. Even though their offensive line got weaker, I just think Henry's just going to run right over our defense and win them with this game. Week 5 at home against the Eagles. This game right here, I think this is a coin flip. But because we are at home, I will give the Steelers the win here. When it's a coin flip, just give it to the home team. And I think the Steelers, this would be a fun matchup too, Yeah, that Eagles offensive line versus our pass rush, I think we'll be able to get to Wentz, or Hurts, or Jalen Hurts. What a stupid draft pick. But I think we're going to get the job done against Philadelphia, and we'll be 3-2. Then week 6 at home against Cleveland, because I think we'll split these games. I think Cleveland takes their game at home, and we're going to take our game where we're at Heinz Field. So at the moment, I think we're going to beat the Browns. We'll be 4-2. And then week 7, we're trying to get some momentum going into the bye, but we play at Ravens, and I just think we lose. I just don't think we match up well with the Ravens. Last year, week 17, they had nothing to play for, and they still beat us handedly. So we'll be 4-3 going into the bye. And then week 9 at Dallas, and I think this will be another fun game. This will be very close, but the home team here, I think Dallas will pull it out just because they are at home, So I think that they will get the win. We'll be 4-4 coming into this game, and we'll have a nice, easy game at Heinz Field to get us back on the right track not at Bengals, at Heinz Field. We'll be able to beat the Bengals, and we will be 5-4 heading into week 11, trying to get some momentum, and this is where we're going to lose. And I know people are going to disagree with this, but the Steelers, we always play down to our competition, and we have always had a problem with the Jaguars. We've always had a problem with Fournette, and whether he's there or not. If Fournette's gone by this game, then I think the Steelers will win. But right now, because he's still there, I am going to give Jacksonville the win. We'll play down to our competition. Minshew Mania, Jags are going to start going crazy. They're going to rub it in on Twitter. We're going to be 5-5 going into this huge game. 5-5. Thanksgiving Day. This is going to be so exciting. At home against the Ravens. NDC, Thursday Night Football. And I think we're going to take this one. We're at home. And I think we're going to get the job done. We're going to beat the Ravens here. We're going to rise to the occasion. The fan base is going to be pissed after this loss to Jacksonville. And the Steelers are going to come back with a huge response. And we're going to beat the Ravens. We're going to play up to our competition. And we are going to beat Baltimore 6-5. And then we're going to go in at home against the Redskins. And if this was on the road, I'd be a lot more worried. But because it's at Heinz Field, I think we will get the job done. We will win this game We will be 7-5. They have a lot of young talent. Chase Young, Terry McLaurin, Haskins. I think Haskins is a good quarterback, and I think people underrate him a lot, you know. But they will not get the job done here at Heinz Field. Week 14, another huge game. We're 7-5 right now, according to my prediction. We're going to be at Bills, and the Bills, their fan base, just wow. And I think the Bills, Josh Allen's going to take a huge step up this year. And I think the Bills will win this game, and I think they will win it handedly. I think they will win by at least 14 points. If we couldn't beat them at home last year, why could we beat them on the road this year? That's my philosophy. And I know we didn't have Ben, but the 2 games we did have Ben didn't look that great. And unless I see something that changes that opinion, I'm going to stick with that Ben is just average to below average. And he's not going to be what he was in the mid 2010s, you know? And then we have at Bengals. And I think we win this game because even though it's at, we'll be hungry after that loss to Buffalo. And when we're in must-win mode, I think we're gonna turn up the Jets. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this win. And I just think there's a difference between like the Jaguars and what the Bengals have. I think the Bengals, while their quarterback is probably better, I haven't seen anything from Burrow that makes. I need to see him succeed in the preseason too. So I think the Steelers get the job done there. I think we're able to. Plus, their offensive line is still not that great, So I think T.J. Watt, Stud Dupree, and the secondary can just shut down that passing attack. And Mixon, Mixon's an okay back, but don't pay him don't pay him that much, Bengals. Running backs aren't worth it unless they're Christian McCaffrey. And then week 16, we're going to be at home against the Colts. This is a coin flip. Once again, whatever the home team is, we're going to give them the win. And because this game is at Heinz Field, the Steelers will get the win, and plus we beat them last year with no Ben. And I think Ben still is an upgrade over what we had last year. And I'm not taking into account another injury like what happened last year. If I did, then it's probably a loss and more than what I predicted here. More of these games would be losses, but I'm saying Ben's fully healthy. He'll get through all this. We're going to win this game. We're going to be 9-6. And this is probably going to be a win and get in game. But because it's at Cleveland, I have us losing this week 17 game. We will lose. We will go 9-7. And we will barely miss the playoffs. And I'm not biased. Because if I was biased, I'd have us making the playoffs. But honestly, I think the offensive talent just needs more time. I think that Chase Claypool pick is a good pick, but we need more. We need more young talent on the offense. We need a younger offensive line, and obviously a quarterback play is gonna determine it in the end. Can we get mid 2010s Ben, or are we gonna get a Ben coming off a season-ending injury that's not gonna be the same as what he once was? So we go 9-7. We miss the playoffs. I think Cleveland gets in, and I think Baltimore gets in. I think the Bengals are 4th in the division again, but I'll see. I'll have to predict their records. And if you guys want me to do this for every team, leave a comment down below saying that you want that. Once again, guys, this is BK Plays. Sign out.